If you would like to ensure your relationship with your child is emotionally balanced and you can be connected to nature together to be fully present in each other's company, then I want to share with you how I overcame my own fears and disconnection between my inner and outer worlds to creating a specialised method based around emotional regulation skills and healing via the natural environment. I'm Alana Cooper, founder of Bush Kids Yoga and creator of the Raising Happy Bush Kids method. I grew up an only child, moving around mainly country New South Wales with my parents due to my father's profession. When I was around 7 years old, I remember getting into trouble from my mum. She tried sending me to my room, like she had done many times before. I was upset and crying. I ran out into the back paddock. I ran all the way to the biggest tree and sat down under the tree where there was a rock. It was a heavy rock and it took some effort for me to flip over. When I did, I could smell the damp smell of earth, and I watched as the many slaters that were sheltered under it scurried away back under the protection of that rock. I touched one of the slower ones and I watched in delight as it curled itself up into a little ball. After spending this time connecting to nature, I was able to return to the house happy, energized, and resilient. Throughout my teenage and early adult years, due to a series of traumas including grief, parent separation, and a domestic violent relationship, I was diagnosed with a range of mental illnesses: depression, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Behaviours that I exhibited included self-harm, eating disorders, insomnia, risky behaviours, and toxic addictions. I tried medication and counselling and mainstream therapies with minimal improvements. The day that I arrived home from our honeymoon, I made a commitment to myself, my husband, and my future children that I would provide myself with the best health that I could. It was in that moment that I remembered the little girl that was quickly and easily healed by nature in that paddock. From that day forward, I connected with the company of others who thrived in nature and natural therapies. I began to change my behaviours using hypnotherapy techniques, which allowed my husband and I to conceive 2 healthy boys. But my vision of being the healthy parent I wanted to be shattered when my eldest son reached 3 years old. He began displaying violent behaviours. I still vividly remember the first time he turned around and hit me. My whole body went into fear and survival mode. My breathing became rapid, and my logic that he was a young, developmentally normal behaved boy went out the window. I felt uncomfortable to be in his presence. I reacted by isolating him in his room for a short period of time. Once I calmed down, I felt a deep sense of wanting to do things differently from my parents. And I also realised that I still had unresolved trauma in my body from when I was younger. So I became qualified in children's yoga, hypnotherapy, Reiki, sound meditation, and ancestral clearing and DNA healing. I also refreshed my knowledge in early childhood education that I'd learnt many years earlier. From all my training and experience, I've been able to develop a range of programs designed for families and children. I've helped a wide range of kids aged from 3 to 12 years old, some who were dealing with bullying and grief, and some who were dealing with having trouble containing their emotions of anger and frustration without resorting to violence, who are all now emotionally regulated and doing better in school. My programs have been used by many early educational facilities and primary schools who truly value holistic well-being for children and connections to the land that we are living on. If my story has inspired you or you resonate with it, leave me a comment below or send me a message. I would love to hear from parents and educators that are as passionate as I am to support raising happy bush kids.